Imagine setting up your dream business in Hong Kong, only to discover you're in violation of the law because you didn't know about TCSP licenses. Since March 2018, the Anti-Money Laundering and Counter-Terrorist Financing Ordinance has required that certain business services be licensed. Operating as a TCSP without a license can result in penalties of up to $100,000 and even 6 months in prison. In this video, I'll explain exactly what TCSP licenses are, why they're mandatory, and how compliance can actually help you build trust with banks and investors. Many entrepreneurs overlook these requirements, but understanding them is essential if you want to avoid costly mistakes. Operating without proper oversight in Hong Kong can expose a business to risks that go far beyond administrative inconvenience. Professional company formation, directorship, and registered office services all require strict anti-money laundering and counter-terrorist financing controls under Hong Kong law. These aren't just bureaucratic hurdles. They exist because unregulated service providers are often the weak link in the financial system, making it easier for illicit funds to move undetected. The Financial Action Task Force, FATF, has repeatedly warned that corporate service providers are commonly exploited in large-scale money laundering schemes. Shell companies, nominee directors, and opaque ownership structures are classic tools used to obscure the origin and flow of illicit assets. Without regulatory safeguards, these business vehicles can be used to create a facade of legitimacy while facilitating complex layering of funds. That's why Hong Kong's Anti-Money Laundering and Counter-Terrorist Financing Ordinance, AMLO, specifically mandates that any business offering services, such as company formation, acting as nominee shareholders, or providing registered office addresses, must obtain a TCSP license. Licensed TCSPs are required to implement risk-based customer due diligence and keep detailed records of their clients and transactions. This means verifying identities, understanding the nature of the client's business, and monitoring for suspicious activity on an ongoing basis. These measures, adapted from international standards and tailored by Hong Kong regulators, serve as a frontline defense against abuse. In contrast, unlicensed providers may skip these steps entirely, choosing speed or cost savings over compliance. While this might seem efficient in the short term, it exposes clients to investigations, asset freezes, and significant penalties if authorities discover non-compliance. The company's registry has issued clear guidance on which activities require TCSP licensing and what compliance standards must be met. For example, if you professionally arrange for someone to act as a company director or manage trust assets, you need to be licensed and follow all prescribed protocols. Increasingly, banks and financial institutions will not engage with businesses that use unlicensed providers, which can create operational roadblocks and limit access to essential services. Ultimately, professional TCSP services exist to bridge the gap between the fast-paced needs of entrepreneurs and the strict requirements demanded by regulators. The goal is not to slow business down, but to ensure that both efficiency and transparency are maintained in a global financial environment. This sets the stage for understanding how Hong Kong's licensing framework is designed to address these compliance challenges while supporting business growth. A robust licensing system is at the core of Hong Kong's approach to trust and company service provider (TCSP) regulation. Licenses are valid for 3 years, and providers must apply for renewal at least 60 days before expiry, as set out by the company's registry. Throughout the licensing period, the Registrar of Companies holds significant oversight powers, including inspecting TCSP premises without prior notice, interviewing staff, and reviewing compliance with anti-money laundering and counter-terrorist financing obligations. The registrar may also impose or vary license conditions or revoke a license if a provider fails to meet regulatory standards. One of the most important requirements for licensed TCSPs is the implementation of mandatory customer due diligence, CDD, enhanced due diligence for higher-risk clients, and ongoing monitoring of transactions. These controls are designed to prevent anonymous company ownership and detect suspicious activity. Unlicensed providers, by contrast, often lack these measures, which increases the risk that their clients may face regulatory scrutiny or penalties. Proper CDD means verifying client identities, understanding the nature and purpose of business relationships, and maintaining continuous oversight of transactions. These are not optional steps. They are essential components of compliance under Hong Kong's anti-money laundering and counter-terrorist financing ordinance. The licensing process includes a detailed fit and proper test, as outlined in Section 58 of the regulations. This test examines the background of applicants, including individuals, partners, directors, and ultimate owners, for criminal convictions, bankruptcy status, and any breaches of anti-money laundering or other regulatory requirements. This scrutiny ensures that only individuals and entities with a clean record, integrity, and financial soundness are permitted to offer TCSP services. For corporate applicants, every director and ultimate owner must meet these standards, closing off potential loopholes for unqualified operators. Legal and accounting professionals working within their regulated scope are generally exempt from the TCSP license requirement, but corporate entities providing trust or company services must be licensed regardless of their directors' qualifications. This creates multiple layers of accountability and ensures broad coverage of the regulatory framework. Licensed TCSPs must also keep comprehensive records of client transactions, CDD processes, and any reports of suspicious activities for the required retention period. These records not only support regulatory inspections, but also help protect clients if their business activities are questioned by authorities. As financial crime typologies evolve, licensed TCSPs are required to adapt their compliance frameworks. For example, screening for virtual asset-related risks and integrating new FATF guidance into their anti-money laundering procedures is now a core expectation. This continuous adaptation ensures that Hong Kong's regulatory system remains effective, even as new business models and technologies emerge. By meeting these requirements, licensed TCSPs offer more than just regulatory compliance. They provide businesses with a level of operational security and documentation that can be crucial during audits or investigations. This framework not only protects firms from penalties, but also shapes how they are perceived by banks, investors, and international partners. Understanding how these regulatory safeguards translate into practical business advantages is key to making informed decisions about which service providers to trust. A licensed trust or company service provider, TCSP, in Hong Kong offers more than just regulatory compliance. It provides a clear market advantage. In the financial sector, a TCSP license signals to investors and banking partners that a business operates under strict regulatory and ethical standards. Licensed providers often report improved acceptance from banks and greater confidence among clients, as the license serves as a visible marker of trustworthiness and professionalism. Banks have tightened their requirements, frequently refusing to open accounts for businesses that use unlicensed service providers. This is not just a matter of policy. Regulators require TCSPs to screen clients against international sanctions lists, such as those issued by the United Nations and the United Kingdom. Banks rely on licensed TCSPs to ensure these checks are completed, reducing the risk of inadvertently facilitating transactions with sanctioned individuals or entities. As a result, businesses that use licensed TCSPs avoid operational bottlenecks and maintain smoother access to essential financial services. Efficiency is another significant benefit. Licensed TCSPs are required to follow standardized procedures for customer due diligence, record keeping, and transaction monitoring. Many firms use regulatory technology, such as automated KYC and AML checks, to streamline onboarding and compliance processes. These tools help reduce manual errors and speed up verification, making it easier to meet the demands of both regulators and clients. A structured compliance framework also helps prevent costly delays during audits or when applying for new banking services. Risk management extends beyond avoiding regulatory fines. Insurance providers often offer better terms to businesses that work with licensed TCSPs, recognizing that strong compliance practices lower the risk of financial crime. For cross-border operations, professional indemnity coverage may even require proof of a licensed provider relationship, since unregulated arrangements can increase liability. The TCSP licensing framework also adapts to new business models and technologies. As demand grows for services such as digital asset management and crypto custody, licensed providers are expected to apply existing anti-money laundering and counter-terrorist financing measures to these emerging areas. This flexibility allows businesses to expand into new markets without sacrificing compliance or operational security. Due diligence is a recurring theme in Hong Kong's business environment. Investors and potential acquirers routinely check the licensing status of service providers during mergers, acquisitions, and funding rounds. Unlicensed histories can create significant risks and may even block access to new capital. Many banks now require proof of TCSP licensing before opening corporate accounts, making it harder for non-compliant arrangements to persist as oversight increases. Choosing a licensed TCSP is not simply about meeting a legal requirement. It shapes a company's access to financial services, investment opportunities, and long-term growth. The operational and reputational benefits of proper licensing are clear, but the real costs of cutting corners often become apparent only when problems arise. Hong Kong's Companies Registry offers a public database where you can confirm any provider's TCSP licensing status within minutes. Use the registry's TCSP online services to verify license status quickly and avoid the risk of working with unregulated operators. This transparency helps protect your business from compliance issues and supports Hong Kong's position as a trusted financial center. The registry periodically updates its official guidance, such as the June 2023 compliance guidelines, so it's important to stay informed about regulatory changes, especially in areas like digital assets and RegTech. Review your current service agreements and confirm your provider's TCSP license today to safeguard banking relationships and credibility.